Hi guys, this is MattiAce, and in today's video I'd like to share with you why I believe so heavily in Solana, which is a blockchain technology with a cryptocurrency coin called Sol. And you've probably heard me talk about cryptocurrency a lot lately since, crypto, Bitcoin being the biggest one, has started moving up again. And today's video is going to be specifically for those of you who basically know nothing or very little about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and so on, and why I believe so heavily in specifically Solana. Now, there's a lot of people that say that crypto doesn't really do anything. It doesn't help with anything. It doesn't solve anything that you really need in your day-to-day life. It's just like it's a fringe technology that doesn't really have a use case. So let's start with just the most obvious thing, and that is payments. Now, as you probably know, one of the biggest payment systems, biggest payment companies is Visa. I'm sure you've heard about it. I have a Visa. Well, everybody knows what Visa is. I was gonna bring up my Visa card. It's unnecessary. So I'm just gonna type here Visa. Let's see what they have to say. This is Visa. You can fact check this on your own. usavisa.com. And I'm gonna hold the mouse on business here. And what you see on the second row here from the left, if you go down a bit, you see it says Visa Crypto Solutions right here. Hopefully you can see it. Anyway, I'm gonna click on it. So again, reminder, this is not a crypto site we are on Visa. So you see the Ethereum symbol here, you see the Bitcoin symbol here, and this is supposed to symbolize something called a stable coin. Almost all stable coins are pegged to the US dollar, which is why they see the dollar sign here. So let's just scroll down. Let's see. What do they have to say about cryptocurrency? So they have some brief explanation here, just some basics about cryptocurrency. You can read this if you're interested. But I'm more interested. Have they picked any specific cryptocurrency? I mean, we saw Ethereum there. We saw Bitcoin there. So is that what they're looking for? Crypto stable coin settlement. So obviously they want to stick to the mainly the US dollar. Let's see. Well, what do you know? A deep dive on Solana, a high-performance blockchain network. So yeah, again, like I said, this is not Solana's web page. This is not one of those crypto web pages that I'm on. I'm still on Visa. Now, if I click here, we get to a deep dive on Solana, high performance blockchain, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and there is just way too much for me to read. So that's going to have to be for you guys to figure out on your own if you are interested. Now, going back to this, I'm going to scroll back up again. Read the USDC settlement case study. Now, this takes you to another page. And the reason why I want to show you this is because Solana is not without competition. Now here we get a little bit more nerdy, sweaty, but Solana has been many times described as a so-called ETH killer, Ethereum killer. And that is because Solana is a heavy competitor to Ethereum. And Ethereum Solana is not the only cryptocurrencies that are competing with one another. There are hundreds of cryptocurrencies that are trying their best to do the same thing. And unlike Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin is its own thing. Nothing has been able to compete with Bitcoin. Everything that has tried has failed. So that's a completely different story. But Solana is competing with a lot of different blockchains. And Ethereum is, of course, the biggest one. Now, since Visa is focusing so heavily on the US dollar and US dollar transfers, Ethereum is a natural choice for the simple reason that Ethereum is the biggest and oldest of the blockchains that has so-called smart contracts. This is important for reasons that I'm not going to get into in this video. Now, Solana is also a smart contract platform. Its benefits is that it's a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So when you do a lot of transactions, yeah, the costs on Ethereum can actually be a massive hinder, even though it's a lot cheaper than the traditional fiat system. Now, why would Visa be interested in this? I mean, they already have a fantastic, they already have a very successful business. I mean, Visa is like used by more or less everyone, and it's fast. It's almost it seems like it's always working with few hiccups here and there, and it seems like it's basically free to use, right? Well, the free to use is an illusion. That's basically the only thing that the traditional financial system is good at, and that is to hide how bad it really is. Using or the usage of the traditional bank system, the traditional financial system, and Visa and the likes of a Visa is actually very expensive. It's just that we, the consumers, do not see it. Now, small businesses, on the other hand, are some of them actually during the latest challenges in the market or in the how do you say it? When we were having this the problems with the aftermath of the pandemic and all that stuff, when the economy went down, a lot of businesses had some serious problems, and one of the problems that they mentioned was that they have such enormous fees and such enormous bills to pay to Visa, and of course I guess MasterCard as well. We using Visa, of course, we're not going to see it though. Now, especially Solana will make these transactions and these payments a lot cheaper. Even Ethereum will, but especially Solana. Now, obviously, Visa, maybe it's too early for them to decide on one, or maybe they don't want to have one blockchain. They probably want to have several blockchains. But the fact that Solana is up there competing with Ethereum is saying a lot. So that is something that, well, I could go on and on and on about this, but like I said, I want to try to keep this video relatively simple. I'm already far deeper into the rabbit hole than I intended. Now, another actual real life use case in Solana would be, if you go to solutions, let's go to ecosystems, and here you see something called Helium. Massive decentralized connectivity. Now, Helium is something that would take a lot of, I didn't upvote that yet, would take a lot of time to deep dive into. But what Helium does is that, among other things, they have started a 5G testnet, I guess I should say, which has just recently started in Miami. Now, they're not really promoting this all that heavily because it's in such an early development yet. Helium 5G is here. They have partnered up with, here it says, Dish becomes first major carrier to deploy Helium 5G, and you can deep dive into this as well. Now, personally, I didn't even know about Dish as a company. Obviously, I'm Swedish. There's a tiny little pond separating me from this part of the world. So, but I checked it out. I typed, what was it, dish.com, I think. Dish.com, there we are. And yeah, just as a just to verify, yeah, this is an actual company that well, they're doing a lot of TV and all that stuff as well. Sorry, I don't know much about Dish, but I know that there are thousands of people that are trying this 5G network out in Miami. I've heard a lot of positive things about it. The most positive I would say is, of course, that it is really, really cheap, at least now in its test phase. And Helium started off with its own blockchain, and they tried to build it up that way, but apparently they just couldn't make their actual blockchain fast and scalable enough, fast and cheap enough, or it would be too costly or too time consuming to do. So they decided to move to Solana. And when this happened, this was not popular in the Helium community. Basically, everyone and their mother in the Helium community was against it. It was a massive uproar against it. People were furious about it. But as it turns out, this seems to be a really, really good decision made by whoever took that decision. I'm, again, trying to keep this video somewhat simple. This is not a video for people that are already into cryptocurrency. This is for people who might be interested in why would we need cryptocurrency in the first place. Well, it's fast, it's cheap, and it is decentralized. Now, the argument for decentralization is actually probably the strongest and the most important, but it's also one of those more nerdy, sweaty, nitty-gritty topics that I, before making this video, decided that I was not going to get into. Anyhow, that is two of the reasons why I believe so heavily in Solana. And yes, nothing that I said in this video, of course, is financial or investment advice. Hope that is clear. I just believe that this is the future of finance. It's the future of technology. It's maybe the future of gaming. There's a lot of games coming on Solana as well, worth noticing. And if you're interested, what you want to do is, if you want to just check out all the things that happens on Solana, or at least start, this is a good starting point. Clicking solutions on solana.com ecosystem. And here you have all kinds of things. One of the games that you've seen me play before is DeFi Land. DeFi, let me see if it shows up here. This is the one, DeFi Land. A big game coming on Solana, Star Atlas. Another game that I'm very bullish on, very interested in. And I just had an interesting conversation with some of the guys in the community a few days ago, and there's a lot happening here. So yeah, I think that sums up this video, and well, there is so much more I could talk about when it comes to Solana. Well, I'm on a lot of different blockchains, but I use the Phantom wallet for Solana. That is probably the first one, or well, if you want to get into the Solana ecosystem, you want to fiddle around with all these apps, you need a wallet, and there are plenty to choose from. I have the Phantom one, but there are a lot more. Anyway, that would be something for another video. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I hope I'll see you soon again.